Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Virginia City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2019. I will call this meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. And welcome to everybody who is watching at home and all of you who are in the audience today. Pam, would you please take the roll call?
Baraboo is absent. Friedlieb? Paulson?
Here.
Beyondich? Johnson?
Here.
Marinelli is absent. Cuffey?
Here. Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll move to item 4 on the agenda, which is the public forum. Is anyone in the audience like to speak before the council meeting this evening? Seeing none, we'll move to item 5, the consent agenda. The following items will be enacted by one motion unless a councilor or a citizen of the City of Virginia requests that the item be considered separately. Item 5.1 is the approval and corrections of the minutes of the regular meeting that was held on August 13th, 2019, and the public hearing held on August 13th, 2019. Item 5.2 is the adoption of Finance Resolution Number 19-016, the Schedule of Bills. Item 5.3 is approve the following travel requests. 5.3A, Matt Kelly, Virginia Police Department investigator, to attend the first witness interview training September 23rd through the 27th in Duluth, Minnesota at a cost of $135. Item 5.3B, Chief Mattson and Officer Gribna to attend the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference October 26th to the 29th, 2019 in Chicago, Illinois at a cost of $2,035. And that cost is for the chief to go and the officer who's going to be receiving an award, a national award. His entire travel and expenses are paid by the International Association of Chiefs of Police Convention Conference. Item 5.4, approve a solicitor's license for Peter Andreco, Southwestern Advantage, to sell educational books contingent upon submitting all required paperwork and request waiving the $200 solicitor fee. Adoption of 5.5, adopt a resolution for the premise permit for Chickagami to conduct lawful gambling at the American Legion located at 235 Chestnut Street in Virginia. Item 5.6, approve the transient merchant license for John Papanayo, doing business as Yanni's Original Euros. And item 5.7, approve the transient merchant license for K&B Grilled Cheese contingent upon submission of the required paperwork. These are the consent agenda items that are on the agenda this evening, and I'm looking for a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Councilor Johnson to approve the consent agenda. Is there support? Support by Councilor Friedlieb. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Paulson?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to pull 5.4.
Okay, very good, thank you. And Councilor Friedlieb? Do you have a question? No, okay, sorry. Okay, motion to approve item 5.1 to 5.7 with the removal of 5.4 for additional discussion. We have a motion and a second on that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries. Let's move back to item 5.4. Approve a solicitor license for Peter Andreco of Southwestern Advantage to sell educational books contingent upon submitting all required paperwork, and he was requesting waiving of the $200 solicitor fee. We have some additional information from our city clerk with respect to that $200 fee. Pam?
Thank you, Mayor. I talked to him today, and he said that he gets reimbursed for half of cost, but he would prefer not to have to pay anything because he is trying to make money as a student from the Ukraine. At a host family in Chisholm, and he's trying to earn money, so he was waived.
Counselor Paulson?
Thank you, Mayor. Has this been a past practice that we have done this? So I feel like I'm probably not on board with waiving that. I mean, if he can get it reimbursed via other entities, I feel like that would be the best way to proceed forward.
And if it's all right with the rest of the council, I would ask that we have entertain a motion to adopt item 5.4 with the denial of the waiving of the fee, but as long as he gets all the other paperwork in and the fee is paid, that he'd be allowed to be awarded this transient license. Counselor Johnson?
Thank you, Mayor. Is this the same gentleman that Chisholm approved a couple weeks ago? They had some PR on that then I think we should do the same thing, maybe put it out that this person is legitimate and does have that the approval from the council as we move forward. We can put that on our social media as Chisholm did.
Yeah, thank you, Counselor Johnson. In addition to that, he does have identification that he has to wear and comply with all our rules and regulations with respect to that. Thank you. Counselor Paulson?
I'll move to approve that with the exception of the waiving of the $200 fee.
Okay, moved by Counselor Paulson to approve for the exception of the waiving of the fee. That'll be required to be paid by the solicitor. Is there support? Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, appearances. We have no one scheduled to appear before the council this evening. And is there anyone else in the audience that would like to come and speak before the council this evening? Seeing none, we'll move to item 7, unfinished business. Item 7.1 is the approval of the proposed changes to City Ordinance Chapter 10, Section 10.31 regarding recreational fires in the city of Virginia. This is the second reading. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I did have some questions about this, and is there a way for us to be able to clarify in the ordinance what is acceptable and what is not? Like, I'm thinking, and I don't know if we can put drawings or pictures in the actual ordinance or links to places where we can say generically this would be acceptable, this would not be acceptable. The questions I had were about the 25-foot, and the person I spoke to basically measured their lot, and they could have a candle this big in the center of their lot. But there was confusion between the 25 and 15, and I did refer them to the fire marshal to answer those questions, but was able to share some of the stuff. We had a discussion with the committee of the whole meeting of what qualifies as mobile and what doesn't. So, but is there any way we can help facilitate that on our website or links or something?
Absolutely. We would create an informational sheet after the ordinance is passed that kind of shows what, when the fire marshal was here, he was giving us examples on a sheet he had. We would do the same thing. The ordinance allows this, this, and this, but it does not allow this, this, and this in lots that are 35 feet or less. So then if you have a lot that's 50 feet or more, you could have this, this, and this, and we would have all that laid out in an informational pamphlet
Perfect.
that Chris can hand out, Chris Clark, our fire marshal, can hand out to people.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Johnson. Anyone else? Do you have a motion and a support? Looking for a motion to approve.
I would move the second reading.
Moved by Councilor Johnson to approve the second reading of ordinance Chapter 10, Section 1031 regarding recreational fires. Is there support? Support by Councilor Friedlieb. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7.2, adopt the resolution accepting the proposal from Sean Simperman to purchase city parcel Block 2, Lot 3 of the Fairview Edition, which is parcel code number 2020-00070. This is the second reading.
I would move that we adopt the resolution accepting that proposal from Mr. Simperman.
Moved by Counselor Freely to adopt the proposal to purchase City Parcel Block 2 from Mr. Sean Zipperman. Is there support? Support by Counselor Beyondich. This is the second reading. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, discussion items. Item 8.1, adopt the hiring resolution for Mr. Anthony Alagraza to the repair crew position with Park Public Works beginning on or after September 16th, 2019. This is a recommendation from city staff and human resources, right? After you vetting out the process, and this is the individual that's been brought forth for a proposal for hire.
We'll move the approving of the repair crew position for City Public Works Department.
Moved by Counselor Johnson to approve. Is there support? Support by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.2, adopt the hiring resolution for dual-role firefighter EMT positions in our packet. How many are there, Britt?
One.
There's one. Okay, and do we have a name attached to that?
Yes, Keegan Geske.
Mr. Egan Geske. So the resolution under 8.2 is to hire Egan Geske as the dual-role firefighter EMT for our fire department, EMS.
I'll move to approve the hire.
Moved by Counselor Foster to approve the hire. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.3, as discussed at our Committee of the Whole meeting, adopt the resolution for the purchase of a canine squad for the police department. There was some discussion about that with respect to the canine and the facilities and the air conditioning for the canine is not adequate, and it's an older system. We found a on-the-lot used vehicle of some sort that will accommodate that to ensure the safety of the canine. Counselor Beyondich.
We'll make that motion.
Counselor Beyondich makes the motion to approve the purchase of the canine squad for the police department. Is there support? Support by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.4, adopt the resolution to make application to and accept funds from the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board Residential Redevelopment Grant Program for 615 6th Avenue South, parcel ID number 090-0030-03510. This abandoned residence has been on the block for a long, long time and has been deemed uninhabitable and clear for demolition. So,
I'll move to approve that.
moved by Counselor Freely to approve. Is there support? Support by Counselor Paulson. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Move to item 9, committee reports. Committee of the Whole meeting that was held on August 6th, 2019. We will turn this portion of the City Council meeting over to our City Administrator, Britt C. Bennis. Britt?
Thank you. At the August 6th Committee of the Whole meeting, we had a presentation from AmeriCorps NCC regarding a history of the AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps. It's a group of 18 to 24-year-olds that travel the country doing community service projects. It was moved and supported to direct city staff to submit a concept plan to the AmeriCorps NCC for short-term and long-term planning for the city and to utilize their services.
We'll move that we direct staff to work with them, potentially to help with other projects around the city.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
At the Committee of the Whole meeting, we discussed our current IT contract with Compudyne. It has expired, and a request for proposals was prepared and sent to area IT firms. It was moved and supported to proceed with exploring other options for managed IT services and to review the information for an internal IT position at a future meeting.
I will move to proceed with exploring the options for IT management services and the internal position.
And moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Paulson. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Deputy Chief Chad Nicola was present to discuss the request to purchase the city site parking ticket software program for the police department. Recent law changes have been in place regarding the protocol for issuing parking tickets and the chalking of tires. The new software will help alleviate problems we have with our current system and assist with alleviating disputes as photos would be taken of any vehicles that are ticketed. It was moved and supported to approve the purchase of the parking ticket software from City Site in the amount of $8,296.88 with a yearly subscription fee of $3,827.88.
And this is something that can be supported by the current budget in the police department? Sherry?
Yes, actually, I budgeted this, sorry, can't talk today, 2020 for next year.
Very good.
But we need it now. We will just strike that for next year.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Counselor Johnson?
And this will provide a more efficient way of managing our tickets and the collection thereof as we move forward also.
Thank you. Looking for a motion. Motion made by Counselor Beyondich and supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Deputy Chief Nicola discussed the predatory offender meeting that was held at the Miners on July 24th. It was moved and supported to direct city staff and city attorney to review the city's ability to modify and enact ordinances, codes, and other procedures regarding predatory offender residency locations and return to the council with an update.
I'll move to approve the direction of directing city staff and the attorney to review the city's ability to modify and enact ordinances.
Moved by Counselor Paulson. Is there support?
Or
Support by Counselor Johnson. Further discussion? I think it's prudent of us to move forward with this, try to find out innovative ways in which we can try to ease the concerns of the public and improve the safety, as we all discussed. As we all received an email that another predatory level 3 sex offender has been moved into the community, living in the 300 block of Chestnut Street. His release date was in 2013, so he's coming from a different community, changing his location. And so this is just another concern that we have with respect to how can we ease the tensions and make sure that we proper the procedures in order to mitigate and move forward with that process. So thank you all for the entire council for that discussion. I think it's very prudent and important for us to try to find a way to find a different method of which to, where we're housing these individuals, whether it's whatever legal form we have. So thank you. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Fire Chief Alan Lewis gave an update on the hiring process. We, at the Committee of the Whole meeting, approved the hiring of Mr. Steve Boner to the position of dual role firefighter paramedic. There is a resolution in your packet.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the resolution of hiring a firefighter paramedic.
Moved by Counselor Paulson to approve the hiring of Mr. Steve Borner to the dual-role firefighter paramedic position with beginning on or after August 27th of this year. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Counselor Friedlieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 9.1F was the resolution to make and accept applications and funds from the IRRB Residential Redevelopment Grant Program for the property at 615 6th Avenue South, which we already took care of under 8.4.
Yes, thank you.
Yep, thank you. 9.1G is to approve the resolution for change order number 2 from Gardner Builders LLC for the Alcott Park Fountain Restoration Project in the amount of $705.11.
Thank you.
I will painfully move to adopt the resolution for the change order.
Counselor Freely painfully moves approval for this adoption of the change order. Is there support?
I support his pain and the resolution, or the,
Supported with pain and consternation by Counselor Johnson. Is there further discussion? I do concur as well. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the payment of the 2020 Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities dues in the amount of $14,099.
we'll move that payment.
Approval for payment to the Greater Minnesota Cities moved to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
I would support.
Support by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to point out that this is one of the organizations that helps specifically cities outside of the metro move forward, and they've been a great support to us. The learning opportunities when we attend the conferences are amazing, as well as the networking. So with that, and then the next motion is for the Environmental Action Fund. It's a great opportunity for us to help, and they've been a great help to us, especially this year.
Okay, thank you. The motion is to approve the 2020 coalition dues in the amount of $14,099. Is it moved and supported? Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the payment of the 2020 voluntary assessment to the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities Environmental Action Fund in the amount of $2,537.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
I would support.
Support by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution for the intent to levy in 2020 for the Economic Development Authority in the amount of $65,978 and to set a public hearing on September 10th, 2019 at 5 p.m. regarding this levy.
We've done this, we've levied in the past for this for economic development for VITA, and I think it's prudent for us to continue to move forward. So do I have a motion?
We'll move.
Moved to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
I'll support for further
Yeah,
discussion.
support by Counselor Paulson for further discussion. Further discussion, Counselor Paulson.
Thank you. What is the percentage of is it 0.03 or 0.08?
0.081. Yep.
So it's less than 1%? I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. I just wanted to clarify.
We'll
It's
get that
under 1%.
clarification. We'll
Yeah.
get that clarification for you, Counselor Paulson.
Thank you.
In the interim, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
At the Committee of the Whole meeting, we discussed the public improvement and special assessment policy revisions and the draft of the storm sewer utility ordinance. It was moved and supported to approve the first reading of the draft of the public improvement and special assessment policy.
We'll move the first reading.
Moved for the first reading by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to set a public hearing regarding the public improvement and special assessment policy with a date to be set still.
Okay.
Move. Set the public hearing today.
You want to set it for the 24th of September or maybe October 8th?
We need to set a hearing date, so should likely be Tuesday. Is that the 24th? We'll all be here.
That'd be the next council meeting after.
Next council meeting at 5 p.m.
I would move the September 24th at 5 p.m.
Moved by Counselor Johnson to set the public hearing date on the public improvement and special of the proposed draft of the stormwater sewer utility ordinance for September 24th at 5 p.m. Is there support? support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 9.1M is the approve of the first reading of the proposed draft of the storm sewer utility ordinance.
So move to approve the first reading of the proposed draft storm sewer utility ordinance.
And moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the proposal from Flaherty and Hood LLC to provide specialized attorney services in the amount not to exceed $20,000.
I will move to approve.
Moved by Counselor Paulson. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Just to clarify, this $20,000 is for an environmental attorney. Is that correct? Okay, and so we hope that we'll be able to recover these costs through another venue. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to set a special meeting on September 3rd, 2019 at 1 p.m. to discuss the proposed 2020 city budget.
Move the special meeting to discuss the budget.
Moved by Counselor Johnson to approve the special meeting set for September 3rd, 2019 at 1 p.m. for the sole purpose of discussing the proposed 2020 budget. Is there support? Support by Counselor Freely. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to request a cease and desist order with the Virginia Public Utilities on the painting of the VPUC logo on the water tower.
I will move that cease and desist forward.
Moved by Counselor Paulson and supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there further discussion? We do have an update. I think that, if I am correct, the Department of Public Utilities has acquiesced, and instead of the DPU logo being put on the water tower, this Virginia is going to be put on there on two different sides. So, more discussion to follow. Counselor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. Will we get to see the proposed, is it going to be like a logo on there or a font?
They are going to try to use the font from our logo, our new logo with the
New
loon.
logo?
Yes,
Will the loon be incorporated into that at all?
not at this time, no.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, we will get another, they were working on getting another stencil.
Thank you, Counselor Paulson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to request the Charter Commission schedule a meeting to review the administrative action of the public utilities as listed in the charter.
Thank you.
I will move that.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Paulson. Is there any further discussion? If approved, then we'll send a letter to the Charter Commission President to set up a meeting. If that is unsuccessful, I think the charter allows for 3 charter members to call the meeting, so we'll move forward with that as seen fit. Any further discussion on this matter? Hearing none, all those in, I'm sorry, Counselor Beyondich.
Is that a meeting where we can just go in and discuss the different things that have happened, or?
Yep, it's a public meeting, yeah, it's a commission meeting,
Okay,
absolutely.
so no action really is taken, we're just going in to discuss it?
Well, no, the Charter Commission can take action at their meeting,
Okay,
make a recommendation to change the charter, which would have to come back for the city council for approval.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Sherry, I didn't quite catch that on the monitor there. I was late on the finger reflex. So what was that? Do you have it? Would you turn on your light and let all of us educated on what the exact amount of that fee to levy is going to be?
Sure. I'll find it again.
I was trying to pull it up while I was speaking, but it disappeared.
It is .01 0.813% of the estimated market value, which is $363,941,412,
So it's
for a total of $65,978.
$65,958 and
$978.
$978, $65,978 on a calculation of a .01813, correct? Correct. Counselor Paulson? Very good, thank you. Okay. We vote on that? We did. Okay, thank you. Great,
No further items from this meeting.
thank you.
Thank you.
Move to item 10, Commission Liaison and Department Head Reports. We'll start with the council. Does any city councilor have a report they'd like to give at the city council meeting tonight? Councilor Beyondich.
I don't, but the library will be starting up our meetings again shortly now that the summer is winding down. So hopefully there'll be some new and exciting things happening there.
Very good, thank you very much. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you. That reminds me that the Friends of Public Safety will begin meeting on September 9th, which is a week from Monday. They meet the first non-holiday Monday of the month. So that'll be happening moving forward.
Thank you, Councilor John. I'll check that off my list. Does anybody else have anything like to bring forward? Councilor Freely.
I'd just like to give a shout out and some kudos to Councilor Johnson for the efforts that he put forth and the labor that he put into putting together along with the Human Rights Commission and Ellen Telby and other volunteers that put on the picnic for the returning Mesabi Community College students. It was incredibly well done, very efficiently done, and the students were incredibly appreciative of having a home-cooked meal for the first time since they've arrived. So it was very nicely done. Congratulations.
Good. And I thank you, everybody, for doing that, too. You were part of that, Councilor Freely, as well, as some of us were also, while you were doing that, we were up at the park laboring, putting up tents and everything else for the Brewfest. And we had a group of 4 or 5 volunteers, me included, trying to put up this tent and looking at the directions. And if we would have been in Mr. Buttrock's class in high school, he would have given us an F for effort. But after the learning curve, we were able to put up the other tents without any problem. So Brewfest was fantastic as well. And thank you for all the hard work and volunteer that you're doing here in this community. Anybody else have something like to bring up? Councilor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to also say a thank you. Thank you, Stephen, for that. That was wonderful. But I also wanted to thank our Park and Rec Director, Brian, and the staff for putting up tents at Midway and for all that you all did to prepare for that. I think Midway residents really, I think they really enjoyed the conversation with the council. So thank you to that. And it was enjoyable to go and meet people over there. Really, it was a nice, chilly, but nice time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it was like old home week. I get to reminisce with some of the neighbors because that's where I grew up when I was a kid. So it was kind of a nice deal to do that. And thanks to Brian too as well. He's been putting in some long hours with the movies in the park and all those kind of things. So our staff is really moving forward. All our workers are working very hard. I think it shows in the condition of the park and the recreation departments, our public works. They're working their tail off to try to get things done. We have trouble getting bituminous to fix the potholes. I know they get a lot of flack from the community and frustration with respect to that, but it's because you can't get the equipment. We now do have some bituminous, and they've been out there trying to fill those potholes. So if anybody in the audience has any areas that they need to address, please do not hesitate to call the Public Works Department, and that is at 748-7515. That's 748-7515. So thank you. Okay, Councilor Johnson.
That reminded me that the next coffee and conversation will actually be Council Goes to College, October 9th from 11 to 1. The idea is to go to the college where the students are and meet with them there. So we'll be getting some flyers out for that and publicizing that October 9th, 11 to 1. It's a daytime activity.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move to our staff for any department head reports. Britt, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I do not have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom? Okay. Pam? Sherry?
Just been very busy with interviews, hiring, background checks, busy, budget. So looking forward to September 4th. Got my scissors sharpened, and I got the pencil sharpened.
Very good. I did have a chance to meet some of the candidates that were interviewing for the firefighter, paramedic positions, the various positions. I must say, whoever, the selection process moving forward, they were all very well-dressed and candid and very polite. And it's nice to see that in our applicants, so thank you. Okay, anything else that we would like to bring forth before we adjourn? Okay, seeing none, thank you, everybody, once again. It's just been a busy couple of weeks. Thanks to our staff, and we're all very appreciative of the hard work moving forward, and we really have a lot of things on the front and the back burners too, so. We'll adjourn this meeting to our next council meeting, which is Tuesday, September 10th, 2019. We have a public hearing at 5 and the council meeting at 5:30. So everybody have a great week and be safe. We stand adjourned.